This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening. I'd like to welcome you and call to order the December 8th, 2021 meeting of the Tenino Planning Commission. Let the record show that all commissioners are present with the exception of Corey Mounts. Okay, moving into the meeting. Let's take a look at the current agenda and see if we have any additions or comments on that, and then we'll talk about the minutes. Okay, having some technical difficulties, just give us a minute here. Corey's just arrived, so all the commissioners are now present. We're just taking a look at the agenda, Corey, just at the beginning of the meeting here, so feel free to make a motion if you'd like. Yay. Aaron can now hear, so we're good to go.
Okay, I will move to approve the December 8th Planning Commission agenda as presented.
And I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's take a look at the minutes of the November 10th, 2021 meeting.
This is Erin. I'll move to approve the November 10th meeting minutes as presented.
Okay.
And this is Alex. I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on. Public comment. Kayleen, maybe we have a member of the public here that would like to comment. If not, that's fine, but this is the opportunity for general public comments. Okay, moving on. Do we have any reports, mayor's reports or otherwise? Dan, I'm guessing not.
I don't have one. Is the clerk?
Yes, the clerk is here. Renee, do you have a mayor's report or like similar report?
Rainey might be on the call, but I think I also see Kayleen Canup is the clerk treasurer.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? Oh, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. My bad.
So Rainey, are you just listening in today?
Yeah, I heard you guys got somebody coming in to do a presentation on the solar panels.
Yep.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So we'll get to that, and then Kayleen might just be in the background. So
yeah, it seems like. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Sorry about the confusion there. Okay, so unfinished business. We don't have anything here. I don't see. Kayleen's mic isn't working for some reason. It looks like. I don't see our presenter. That our presenter has arrived yet. So, do we have any other business, Dan, to talk about?
I don't have anything else. I could provide a couple quick talking points on.
Yeah, maybe you could give us some updates on some things, grants or something similar.
Yeah, well, I think I've reported the last couple meetings that we have been given the Habitat Conservation Plan grant as well as the Housing Action Plan. The Housing Action Plan will probably require more engagement from the Planning Commission. Although maybe in the interest of outreach, is there interest from Planning Commission members to attend and be a part of some habitat conservation plan stakeholder meetings? Is there, we couldn't have a quorum, but we could have a couple representatives from the Planning Commission if you were so inclined. I don't know what the kind of the meeting tempo will be yet, but it will be at least once a quarter, I would say, to sit and talk about Mazama Paca gopher and prairie habitat preservation throughout the city.
I'd be willing to attend some of those meetings, actually.
I would as well.
Yeah. I'd be interested
Nice.
too.
Well, yeah, whatever. At least one
We'll
or
just
two of
stop.
us should be there, so.
Okay, I will put knowing that I'll put an invite into the commission, and you can have a discussion about who to appoint or select to go to those. Probably should be the same person every time, just for
Makes sense.
continuity's sake. So I think that's we're putting the work plan together for 2022 for how we're going to go about that. I'm meeting with some consultants on that next week.
Excellent. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes.
I also saw, just kind of out of curiosity's sake, the city of Yelm is advertising for consultants for their habitat conservation plan. Their HCP is like 1.3 million, I think, and our HCP is more like 300 or so. But that's for 3 years. That includes environmental review, not just the HCP itself, but some initial scoping for NEPA environmental. So they're big deals, and it's cool that our region is kind of doing them at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't expect there to be much overlap or anything other than like a tangential benefit for Yelm and Tenino doing theirs at the same time. They're different gopher species, and there's different kind of issues. So ordinarily, I would look to try to partner with the city of Yelm if it made sense to do so. But we'll just kind of keep our eye on what they're doing, and I'm sure they're interested in what Tenino has planned as well.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So housing action plan, we will also put a work plan together for that. And I do think the planning commission will be much more involved in the housing items, and kick that off probably in January at our January meeting.
Okay, sounds good. Looks like Ben has arrived. Ben, are you ready to begin your presentation?
Hi, can you all hear and see me okay?
We can hear you.
Excellent. I think
okay,
I'm not seeing his video yet.
Yeah. Can you turn on your video if that's important to you? I'd like to welcome Ben Selesky, Olympia Community Solar. He's going to give us a presentation regarding their Solarize campaign, which is a campaign to promote solar through a group purchasing program. We can see you now, Ben. There we go. Nice.
Present, not share. Okay. Can you all see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yes, looks good.
Excellent, excellent. Hi, thanks so much for your time. I'll try to keep it brief here. My name is Ben Selesky. I'm the program director for an organization called...
We just lose him.
Yeah, we did. Ben, we can't hear you now.
But his slide remains.
Yeah, weird. Frustrating.
Where is that? Is that local?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
It's a lot of solar panels.
Sure is. All right. Don't see him on the chat options, so we may have lost him. Unfortunate.
If he pops back on, I can just make him presenter again.
I have a question, maybe in the interest of keeping the dialogue alive. I believe there's at least one seat open for a planning commission. As we move into 2022, are there conversations going on with people who might be interested in being appointed to that seat?
I haven't heard any conversations, but I mean, I definitely think we should be having them. It'd be great to fill that last seat.
Okay.
Seems to be totally gone now, so I don't know. I guess there's not much we can do. He just has to log back in, I suppose.
I don't have his cell phone number handy. Well,
Yeah, I called the number that we have, but I don't think it's a cell phone number, so.
That's the 425 number, Bill? Will?
That's right. Yes, that's the one I tried.
Hopefully he's not still talking.
I know. That would
He'd
be a
know
worst
when,
case
he'd know
scenario.
when he has to go to change the slide, right?
Yeah.
I've been there. It's been a long 2 years with this thing, so I definitely have been there.
We might get the really short version of the presentation once he comes back.
Hey, Rainey, are you available for questions?
Yeah.
Are you, how close are you to getting final CO or whatever on the gas station?
The gas station's got its CO, I want to say 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yep. They're already open and running.
Things seem to be working out all right.
I haven't heard any complaints so far. But I have no phone calls or anything from anybody.
Hello, this is Will. Is this Ben? No, I don't know. You disappeared from our I'm muting the screen for some reason. Can you try logging back in? No, we didn't hear anything. You started talking and it all disappeared. That's why it's called, because I didn't, it was unfortunate when somebody talks and you can't hear anything. Maybe, but yeah, thank you. Yes, it did. We're still on the first slide. So once you log back in, Jen can make you the presenter again. There we go. Okay, he's back.
Hi, sorry everybody.
No worries.
I hope that doesn't happen again if I share my screen.
Well, Jen, can you make Ben the presenter once again, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
We can try it without the shared screen if that becomes an issue, but it should work. I don't know why it wouldn't work.
Okay, can you hear me and see me?
We can. I can't see
Yep.
you, but we can see your screen. Everything's perfect.
Okay, excellent. Well, why don't you just give me a call if I drop out again?
Yep, no worries.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, like I said, we are Olympia Community Solar. We are a nonprofit based in Olympia. We work on making an equitable and accessible transition to clean energy through expanding the benefits of solar. And we do that primarily through community solar projects. So these are solar projects that are owned by multiple people. We also do this through public policy, through expanding the benefits of virtual net metering. But then we also do this through campaigns called Solarize. Everyone still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Solarize. So we're doing this program called Solarize, and it's going to be next year from April to September. And it's going to be for residents of Thurston, Pierce, Mason, and Lewis County. So what is a Solarize campaign exactly? Solarize campaign is a group purchasing model for Solarize, or a group purchasing model for solar, and it takes what is typically a individual endeavor, individually researching and educating yourself about solar, individually looking at all these different installers. It takes that and it expands it to a neighborhood or a city or a community of people so that a whole bunch of people can all put solar on their roofs together at the same time. And what happens when we do that is we simplify the process. We make the process a lot more affordable for everybody by buying all the materials in bulk. So we contract with a solar installer or multiple solar installers through a competitive bidding process. And we ensure that by buying all these materials in bulk, we can save up to 25% below market rate for every installation of solar. And by focusing on on the group purchasing power, we also make it the education component of solar a lot easier by offering free education webinars every single week. And so typically a community organization or a nonprofit such as ourselves will partner with installers, but then also financiers as well to do a group purchasing program. Oh yeah, and I will say that it's usually a time-limited offering to kind of work past that customer inertia of a lot of people thinking that they're interested in solar, but is now the right time? Is now the right time to do it? Do I have all the information I need? So by putting that limited time offering, it really accelerates the process of buying solar for individuals. It makes it more affordable, and it makes it so that it's more of a communal effort. So our role within the campaign is to be kind of a customer advocate. Our job is to make sure that we can negotiate that special pricing, that 25% below market rates because of the bulk purchasing, when our job is to secure those partnerships. So, for example, last year we partnered with Capstone Solar because they just gave us the best bid out of about 4 different installers that all bid on this. So we partner with Capstone Solar and Puget Sound Community Credit Union for financing options. And so we secured those partnerships and we provided educational materials, we answered people's questions, and we also communicated with all the partners and we evaluated the performance. So, there is a lot, not a lot, but there's a growing amount of, I think, like predatory solar companies out there. And so our job is to make sure that every single customer is getting that Solarize discount, is getting a positive interaction with with the solar company that we contract with, and that leads and site assessments are being followed up with on a timely manner. And we also do audits as well. So throughout the Solarize campaign, we will do randomized calling of some of the Solarize participants and ask them how their experience working with our contractor was. And so we are basically making sure that everyone that's part of this program has a positive experience. So there's been many successful Solarize projects here in Washington, in Mercer Island with 47 installations, and Whatcom County with 48. But the one we did this year from April to September is one of the most successful Solarize campaigns in Washington state history. We had no idea how successful this would be. We initially aimed for just 50 installations. We wanted to see if we could partner with some cities for promotional purposes, just to get 50 homes to install solar, kind of around the same time with this program. And it was so successful that we got nearly 140 installations just in Thurston County. So if you look at this map here, everyone still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. So if you look at this map here, you can see a map of all of the installations in Thurston County. As you can see, there's obviously a whole bunch right there in Olympia. But if you look south and you're closer to Tenino, you can see that, there's a little bit. But this year, we really wanted to focus more on rural communities and making sure that both our messaging and our outreach is a lot more targeted towards rural communities. So hopefully at the end of next year, we can see a lot more of these dots closer to Tenino. Yeah, so like I said, the benefits of Solarize are really threefold. It's so much simpler of a process than individuals just having to do all this research themselves. By having a competitive bidding process for the best solar installers and financing options, we can guarantee that the information that's doled out to everyone is in the simplest, most easy to understand way. We will give weekly or bi-weekly free public webinars about the basics of solar, how to even think about going about putting solar on your roof, what you need to have, what you need to know. And then affordability, like I said, our Solarize campaign offers prices that are about 25% below market rate. So I think the average price per watt for solar is around $2.69. Our campaign offered a price per watt of $1.95 per watt. So really, really great limited time prices for solar. And then, like I said, community. It really instills a attitude of a communal effort, and by having everyone, like your neighbors or your city or your community, all doing this Solarize campaign together, it really just like locks in the sense of community. And at the end of each Solarize campaign, we do a big celebration where we invite everyone who put solar on their roof as part of this campaign together to celebrate and talk to each other and kind of bring the community together around this. So here's some things about why our Solarize campaign was successful, is because the cities that we worked with, like Olympia, Lacey, and Tumwater last year, they really helped send out our promotional and educational materials around to everybody. So if the city of Tenino is interested in being a part of this program and helping us, we would love to have your help to insert our Solarize campaign materials into utility mailers if you're able, or to post and repost social media messaging that we're going to be creating around it. and then inviting community members to our educational workshops, and then connecting us with any other community forums or local media that you know. And yeah, cool. So yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to take some questions now. I just started working full time for Olympia Community Solar a few months ago, so I may not be able to answer all your questions, but I would definitely love to use this as a jumping off point for further communication in the future. So this program is going to go from April to August of next year, so we have some time to work through any details. And yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you, Ben. So if someone's interested in maybe learning more or participating, how do they get an application going? Or I guess that's through the website?
Yeah, so we're still in the process of doing the bidding for what installations company we want to contract with. I think in the next couple of weeks we can be expecting those bids to arrive, both for financiers and with installers. And so what we would do is we would create a whole separate web page on our website just called Solarize. And so people who are interested in getting a free site assessment or attending one of our workshops, they would go to that website, put in their name and address and contact info, and then we would get in touch with them through there. But as far as like cities who want to help promote this program, I can just put my email, or I can put my email down somewhere. Is there a chat? Here we go. And I know I've been in communication with a few of you on here.
Sure.
Yeah, and so we're still kind of developing some of our early campaign materials, but as soon as we have selected our contractors and financiers, then I think things will really get going.
Yeah. Do you need a certain level of community buy-in before people in Tenino can participate, or
No. I
not
guess,
necessarily?
yeah, no. I think if I know in Olympia we had to schedule about 3 or 4 months out in advance if we wanted to insert information into utility mailers. So if there's anything around that, that might need to be scheduled in advance. But yeah, I think it just helps to hear about this from a trusted source like your city. So
Sure.
any kind of partnership y'all can offer would be greatly appreciated. But if you decide to say no thanks, that's all okay. We'll be here anyway.
Nice.
Ben, what are the siding requirements? Obviously, southern exposure, I'm guessing, is what you're looking for on the roof, or does it not matter anymore?
Southern exposure is ideal, but not at all obligatory. I don't know. It's hard to say. Every site is different. What we would do is we would have a drone pilot from our installer come and do a whole site assessment and see if your house has like 100% exposure, 80% exposure. I think anything lower than 75% probably is not going to work. But every house is just different. It's like a thumbprint.
It strikes me that most of kind of the Tenino core, their roofs are like full on southern exposure because the streets run kind of east to west. And there's not a lot of tree cover. Are there words for like solarizing the whole town?
Solarizing the whole town? You mean like putting them on city buildings?
No, I mean, I think you would have, I don't know what the price point is, how expensive it is to install, but just looking at an aerial photo of Tenino, there's lots of good candidates. It's like most of town would work with
Excellent.
like 90% coverage, like, or like not a lot of shade, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I think, flat roofs are obviously ideal. I think one thing that's great about our financing options is that oftentimes if your roof is within 10 years of needing a replacement, you should probably take care of the roof before you put panels on. But our financing options at Puget Sound Community Credit Union will actually help finance roof replacements as well. So it's all kind of part of the same process.
Do you have just a range for how much that costs to solarize somebody's roof?
I would say right now it's around probably $2,000 per kilowatt, and I'd say the average house is between, I don't know, 4 to 10 kilowatts. But every house is so different, so it's hard to say like this is exactly how much. But yeah.
Do you also do some of the coordination with the utility company with like PSE?
So we don't work directly with PSC. I know PSC has their own community solar programs. We have worked with the local utilities in Olympia, but we haven't worked directly with PSC.
All right. Well, any other questions?
What about grants? Are there any grants that some people can apply for, federal grants?
Absolutely, absolutely. My colleague Mason would probably know a lot more about that than I do. But if there's any projects you're thinking of, please get in touch with me, because that's a big thing. What we do, we're really good at writing grants for solar projects.
And if say some of these customers decide to put solars on in their house in Tenino, would they be able to get on the buyback program with PSC?
I don't know. That's a good question, but I will get back to you on that one.
Sorry, Ben, another question for you. Inspection requirements.
hmm So typically, the installer takes care of all the permitting and inspection. The city, I'm not sure how clear and publicly available your inspection requirements are as a city, but the city doesn't need to do any inspection. I think. I know it's basically the prerogative of the solar installer to take care of all the permitting and siting and inspection.
Okay. So the weight on these units, I would imagine, are not that much. Or can you figure load on the roof? That's kind of where I'm going with the inspection part. You know, what type of load would the houses be putting on their roofs, and what type of in attachments? I mean, just going directly to the joist, or is there going to be blocking that needs to be added in on some of these between some of these trusses on the roof in order to to get the adequate tie down of those panels?
Yeah. That's definitely a great question for a solar installer, which I am not. I will definitely say that the weight of the modules over the years have gotten lighter as they go on, and in fact, there's been a lot more cases of solar panels actually protecting roofs rather than weighing them down. But I think it probably varies roof to roof. But I'm sure a solar installer would give you a lot better answer than that.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks for your questions, Rennie. That's helpful.
Yeah,
okay. Any other questions?
I guess what's the process on our end? And this is probably maybe a question for city staff. If we decide that we want to help promote that, is that got to go to city council, or is it just a decision we make and make a recommendation? Or
yeah, that's a good question. I think I would definitely pitch it to the city council just to make sure that they know. I'm not sure what relationship you have to your local utility, but I think putting a utility mailer is a really, really helpful way to get this information across.
Sure.
But so
We have a local water bill that comes out, and we have a local water bill that goes out monthly to everybody who has a water service through the city. So that would probably be the most logical way to send it out, I guess.
Mhm.
And there's a local newspaper as well. So
Great. Yeah, yeah. Or if there's any, like, I know we're talking to the city of Tacoma, and the Tacoma, they have like the city hosts monthly talks about local environmental issues that they do, and we're trying to speak there. So if there's any other forums to do that, but yeah, I think sending in the utility mailers and allowing some social media messaging and Solarize information to come out from the city's official social media channels would be very helpful too.
And a lot of word of mouth in Tenino. It's a very small town, so
Yeah.
it doesn't spread as well.
Yeah,
Is
yeah. Or
there
if there's like a farmer's market or a tabling event, stuff like that.
on your website, is there a place where we can see some of the benefits of the group buying program? I mean, versus traditional, one-on-one kind of, shopping.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And if it turns out that someone just wants to purchase solar from a different installer that we're not offering, oftentimes our financing options are like reduced financing options or reduced. I think Puget Sound Community Credit Union offered 1% off all interest rates. Those financing options are still going to be available for people, even if they decide to not go with the installers that we're offering. But yeah, I can get you that information. I can send you a whole follow-up email.
Nice. Okay.
Well, Ben, one more
Thank you.
question. If you don't mind.
Yep.
As far as placement, like we talked, possibly a south placement would obviously be the best to do. What happens if you get into properties that have, tree coverage, and some of the trees have to be, agriculturally, what impact would that have if some individuals on their block have to have some tree removal done, or even just limbs cut? Who bears the cost of that expense? Is that something that is the solar company, or is that the landowner themselves?
My guess is that's the landowners. Yeah. And I think that's something that you probably have to deal with depending on whose property the tree is on.
Thanks, Ben.
Well, thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. Yep, we'll be in touch. Send us any materials that you'd like. I think the city utility bill, the water bill, is the best place to send out the utility mailer. So I don't know. Yeah, we can communicate via email after this. But thanks for coming in and presenting for us.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Okay. Yep, could be a good opportunity.
The greener the better, they say.
Does Tenino have it? It has a telephone utility, right? For Tenino cable, right?
Yeah, that's what we have. It's not cable, it's a DSL and phone line. Tenino
Right.
Telephone Company.
But no power. All the power is PSE.
That's right. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we've had a decent relationship with PSE also, and they've I think they sponsored the solar panels that are on the roof of the high school in some way, maybe, but if not, I know that Dave Watterson has been working or had been working with PSE quite a bit on solar power for the city. So okay, well, any other discussion of solar?
I got no more questions, guys.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I said I have no more questions.
Oh, you have no more questions. Sorry, thought you said you had a couple more questions. My bad. Okay. Well, we don't have anything else on the agenda, I guess. So it's a bit of a short December meeting. Does anyone have any other announcements? Dan, do you have anything else to say?
I don't.
Okay.
If you haven't seen the progress for the city halls coming along nicely, you can stick your head in there and It's going to be a pretty great space when we're said and done. Hopefully we can meet in person at some point and enjoy that space.
That'll be nice. How far along are they?
When I was in there last week, they were doing sheetrock and stuff like that. I don't know, Rainey or Jen, maybe you could speak to more detail on that.
Yeah, painting was finished up today. We're having court in there on Tuesday. So you guys should be able to have January meeting in real life. It's very exciting.
Hey,
It looks amazing upstairs. We're excited.
Did they find any other hidden treasures in the walls up there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, well, sounds good. Should we plan on having our next meeting in City Hall, or should we wait? Maybe we'll just wait and see what happens at the beginning of January, I guess. Make sure it's done, but
I'm ready to move back in there as soon as we can.
yeah.
Same.
Same here.
Okay. Well,
Maybe we plan for a January kickoff unless we hear otherwise.
why don't we tentatively plan to have our first in-person meeting in January, unless something happens that makes that not possible.
Sounds
Okay.
great.
Nice. All right. Good one. So on that positive note, I will say happy holidays. I hope you all have a lovely month, and hopefully see you in person in January. Meeting adjourned.
Bye, everyone.
Right,
All right, see you
Bye.
next year.